someone asked me, Bianca, is it actually true that there's really nothing to do in Guam except to go to the beach or to go shopping? Well, that entirely depends how you define nothing. Because apart from the beach and shopping, there's also a lot of war museums. So if there's one thing you're going to find a lot of in Guam, it's war museums and war memorials. Now, if documentaries and films or photos just don't really do it for you, and you want something more exciting and something really raw and real, make sure to drop by the Pacific War Museum, because it is here, my friends. You're going to find the toys for the big boys, just like this. Isn't enough? Just like this. In fact, it is so real that you can actually go inside and get the feel what it was like to be in an army tank. It's quite hot, but exciting. Good workout. Although, obviously I'm doing it wrong, but you see that arm jiggling? Yeah. The person who owned this, his name is actually John Gerber. He already passed away, and it's his best friend and the wife who's actually running the place. So when you get to drop by, make sure you know to do a little bit of a donation just to help with the upkeep. Besides, it really is worth the visit. So when I'm gone, Pacific War Museum. Here at the Tumon Museum, I got to find all about the Battle of Guam between the Americans and the Japanese in World War II. But to make a long story short, as we all know, that war never did anybody any good. In fact, the cost of war is so high and the lives that are lost are even higher. So if you love war museums and war history like myself, come on over to Tumon Museum. So now we're here in the South Pacific Memorial. Now, during the time of the war, the Japanese had occupied this area and they held the Chamorros, or the local people of Guam, as captives, where they were slaves, they were tortured, and they were killed. And when the Americans came, of course, the Japanese did not want to surrender, and they blew themselves up just like a samurai's death. And so later on, a priest had scouted this whole area as he wanted to turn this place sort of like a memorial, a sanctuary. So to make sure that he went all around to look if there were still bones remaining. And in fact, he did find some bones, and he put them in a container. And because the Japanese had heard about this, they were so touched by this act, they decided to come back here to Guam, and they built this memorial as a sign of peace. And so much more. That's what you're going to find here at the Guam Museum. And many years ago, Guam never actually had a formal museum, and finally, just 2 weeks ago, they finally opened this beautiful structure. Paintings, sculptures, workshops, everything here at the Guam Museum. And And this is Two Lovers Point. So legend has it that there is a local girl, a Chamorro, who is so in love with another local Chamorro, a guy. But unfortunately, she was to marry a Spanish guy according to her mom. But she didn't want to, she didn't love him. But she was like, no, you have to because he's rich and your future's gonna be set. But she didn't want to, so what she did with her lover is she came to this place. They tied their feet together and their hair, and they jumped off the cliff. It's sad, I know, but as they say, forbidden love makes you do, well, stupid things. And it's also here that you guys can actually do the love bridge, where you get a lock, then you make a wish or make a prayer, and people even actually get married here. So when in love and in Guam, come to Two Lovers Point. Who needs a boat when you got a balcony? What's the line? Chef! I know. I'm alive. No, what's the line?
I'm flying.
I'm flying. Whatever, you get the point. Okay. If you love to go driving, because that is one thing to do here, you've got to rent a car, because to get around easy, the car is the best thing, and you can even drive all around the island in just 2 hours if you don't make any stops. So the best way to get around Guam is to take this bus. So you can usually just pay right when you board, or you can buy tickets from certain hotels, but us, we get the tickets from the duty-free shopping. So you can choose from 2 days to 5 days to Chamorro. For 5 days, it's $25 per person. And so they're designated stops, hotels, the shopping malls, and yeah, because cabs are pretty much very expensive here. So at least when you ride this, you not only get a free tour, well, you get to see the city, but you also get to go shopping and tour, and yes, that. It's like 2 rows of seats back to back. I think we're the only Filipinos on this trip. Okay, so all families are together. Okay, so we were told that if you want to take photos inside, use a flash. Or if I want to use like a selfie light. But if you're going to take photos out into the window, best not to use a flash. Okay, so we have to wear headphones. It's in English. We don't have a full flight today, but she's assisting us, and there's our captain. And look, if you can see in the back, there's a little fishy over there. see. I'm not afraid to
So the yellow
swim
spots,
in a
they call
pool,
it
but not in open
basket
sea.
sponge.
But I guess because you're in an enclosed area, it doesn't really feel like you're trapped or anything. And the submarine is quite spacious, so it doesn't mean that just because you're in a tight-knit group together that you feel claustrophobic. At least I don't feel that way. And then we had just passed all these beautiful corals, and they're called carnation corals because they do look like the carnation flower. So we're about 14 meters.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, look up on the reef. You will see
I don't even
one
know
of the reef balls here. They call it
at the
reef
top
ball.
of whatever
The
it's
black
called.
tube there,
So it's quite impressive.
So the black
Staff.
there next to the reef ball,
Chinese,
they call it
Korean,
surgeon
Japanese,
fish.
English.
English, they call it surgeon fish.
Awesome.
Guam, they call it.
So that was a really cool ride. It's also good that it was great weather today because usually, like the last time I was here, they actually canceled it because there was a storm that was coming. So it was raining this morning and then the skies cleared up. Perfect day for a submarine ride. It's been so long since I've worn a bikini, so coming to Guam, it never occurred to me to bring a bikini. Well, I didn't even bring slippers. I brought sneakers. Doesn't matter though, the view from the room, here from the bottom, sand's quite pretty. Just watching the people enjoy, I think that's more than enough. Okay, so we just came from the Fish Eye Marine Park, and it's basically a beautiful long walkway from the land all the way down to the very end. And there are 75 steps that you take to go down, and you get to see all these different types of fishes under the water. It's really up to you if you want to go down or not, but it doesn't even matter because just the walkway and the time that you're brought here at sunset is absolutely spectacular. The sunset in Guam is just bananas. Bananas. To shop. Who doesn't, right? Well, there are 3 places to shop if you are coming to Guam. First up, Kmart. So a lot of people love to go to Kmart because they can buy pretty much anything that they can think of. There's toiletries, there's clothes, there's sportswear, there's school supplies, there's a lot of food in giant American sizes. But the one thing that I truly come here for, tampons. Tampons in the Philippines is like buying gold, but here in Kmart or anywhere in the US where it definitely is a common this is so awkward that I'm sharing this, but it really is true. All the things that you pretty much can't buy in the Philippines, most likely you're going to find them here. So for me, it will definitely have to be supplements and tampons. Hey guys, so so I'm back from Kmart. If you guys don't want to shop in duty free and you don't really have the money for luxury goods, that's not a problem because the largest Kmart in the world, like I mentioned earlier, is here in Guam. And so if you have ever shopped in the States or know what it's like to shop in the States or ever want to know what it feels like to shop in the States, then you can come to Kmart as it's right beside the Philippines. So here's some things that I bought. Of course, I love Sour Patch Kids. I know some of you are thinking, but there's already that in the Philippines. Yes, but it's so much cheaper because we are in the United States. I got Graham S'mores, and they sell a lot of these. And here in Guam, they have a lot of chocolates with macadamia, just like going to Hawaii. So that's a great salubong. I bought like makeup remover. The great thing about the products too, they come in super size or in tiny size. Just this like very useless Vaseline lip balm, but it's so jadorbs. Okay, if you guys are really tall or plus size, they have a great selection, especially for basics, even for activewear. They have that in Kmart, and of course, and for other useless things that you'll never know you might need, just in case that one day I decide to play golf, I have that too. And of course, I can't live without dry shampoo. In Manila, they sell this for about half the size for about like 600 pesos. Here, this was about $10, which is like 460 pesos for a big size. What else? Ooh, socks. Because we all need socks with dogs because we all love the dogs of Instagram. And we have so many Snicker bars with such random like labels, right? Carb loading and labeling. Oh, and my sister, how mature she is. She decides to buy a $19 arrow that shoots water balloons.
Bow.
Oh, whatever. Hunger Games with water.
Oh.
Hunger Games with water. Speaking of water, if you have a hose at home and you like to do water fights with balloons, this can pump water into 100 balloons in 60 seconds. Yes, it promotes laziness and fun. I think that's it, people. Ooh! If you guys know Fruit Stripe, this is pretty much like vintage, nostalgic, like blast from the past chewing gum. There's so much other stuff that I bought, but what is the creme de la resistance I got? Tampax. Because you need them for daily life, or at least for monthly life. I don't need to treat it like gold because I bought a 2-year supply. And here's a packing tip before I go. You don't need to put it in the box. Just unpack it, spread it all around your luggage, and you are good to go because they're quite light. Anyway, that wraps it up for me with Kmart. So okay, I love it. Only here in Guam, guys. So if you guys are ever in the area and want to shop, and eat at Little Caesars, Kmart. And then there's their local mall, and it's called the Micronesia Mall. So the major mall that they have here is the Micronesia Mall. And it's here you can find American chain stores like Macy's, they've got Foot Locker, and of course they've also got a food court upstairs. And there's Taco Bell, if you guys actually love Taco Bell, because a lot of Filipinos or a lot of people don't have Taco Bell in their own countries. My personal favorite is Pretzel Maker. Absolutely love it. And of course, because everything here is supersized, it's just so dangerously good for you. So that's another mall. Now, a lot of people like to go to Kmart, especially the tourists, because that is the one that's highly advertised. But a lot of the locals, they shop at the supermarket, which is called Payless. And to be honest, it's a whole lot cheaper than it is in Kmart. But hey, you can get to go to both, whether it's a local supermarket or the large chain store, just like Costco and Walmart, and that is Kmart. So there's a store here called GameStop. And the nice thing about it is, you know, kids, they love their video games, and there's actually a section here that is all pre-owned systems. So if you want to gift your kids, or kids are like trying to shop for a budget, this is actually a pretty great store, and it's also here at the Micronesia Mall. Now, if your traditional department store isn't really your thing and you like luxury goods, well, people come to Guam to hit the duty-free shops. So you got Dior, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Kate Spade, all the brands that you can think of. And apart from that, your typical pasalubong. You've got your chocolates, you've got your Godiva coffee, and you've got your different beauty products as well. You can find them all here at the duty-free stores. Because we are in the United States of America, which is known for all their outlet shopping, you can head to the Guam Premium Outlets. So I'm here. I think one of the stores that makes me so sad is BCBG Max Azria is like one of my favorite stores in the whole world, and they used to have a shop here in Guam Premium Outlets and they closed. They just decided to pull out of Guam altogether. Devastated. Okay, so the customs officer had asked, what do we intend to shop for? And I said, tampons. And he said that the best place to get it, it's like in their own Costco, which is called Cost You Less. And when it's that time of the month, it can add up, people, especially if you're a regular. So after going around the whole place, there's no tampons. Oh well, at least we got to see it. But this place really reminds me of SNR, membership shopping, without the membership, so anyone can come here. No way. I shan't. It's too heavy in the luggage. So the most happening store in Guam Premium Outlets is Ross. It's discount shopping. So when you come here, you have to be prepared to really scour through all the things. There's so much, and find your size. So it really is just about patience and perseverance and a lot of luck. Hair's a mess. Haven't brushed it since this morning. I guess when you go shopping, you're on a mission. But anyway, when it comes to, outlet shopping, you always have to manage your expectations because sizing can be difficult, and usually the quality is not the same as buying it from a regular store, because these days a lot of brands actually make certain products just for outlets. So because it's cheaper, I guess the quality isn't always the best. Take example for 9 West. 9 West can get a little bit pricey, especially in Manila, when it's, convert like dollars to pesos. But a lot of the shoes here, they are affordable, but most of them are synthetic leather. Unlike when you go to a regular store, more often than not, it is actually pure leather.
Besides, there's nothing wrong with doing nothing if you're hitting the beach and you're going shopping, because nothing to many people is everything. And this has been Guam.